Ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
And I'm Mangru, lo.
And folks, after giving you a little bit of a throwback, we are back to Steel Division 2, this time giving you a nice little 1v1 on Orsha East. Now, Rang, set the stage for us. Who's here and with what?
Well, on the left-hand side in blue, we have MC Prestor John playing as Gruppe Harteneck with balanced income, and on the right-hand side, we have finzent playing as 9th Kavalrie with a Maverick income.
Maverick indeed. He's a bit of a Maverick, but how's this going to work out? I mean, balanced Maverick, 9th Guards, of course, has all that infantry, but how's that going to work against the Harteneck?
I think this is going to be probably another uphill battle, quite literally two, considering the map. For 9th Kavalrie, you do have good infantry, but, you know, the Hungarians and Harteneck are just much better, frankly, and also, you know, the anti-tank problem with 9th Cav, you don't have too much anti-tank. Fortunately, Harteneck doesn't have too many tigers, but still can be a scary amount of tigers. So we'll just have to see how it goes. It's really going to come down to finzent being able to, you know, do that good 10-20 minute early game and hopefully make a breakthrough in his side.
Well, that's the important thing you mentioned about the whole tiger bit, because we have a Tiger Fuhrer right over here in the center part of the map, and nothing on the field outside of infantry-based AT, of course, is going to take that out. Standard rush to the north, though. We're going to see a bunch of jeeps kind of come in and take that early western position on the center. Oh, sorry, the northwest position, more or less. Yeah. That's a ton of PTRSs.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good idea. Once again, the jeeps can get to the front line way before the Germans can. So if he can set up on that hill and get those PTRSs online, he can, you know, maybe snipe a transport or two and maybe not kill, but do a little bit of a panic or disable the tiger.
Oh dear God, we have our air stats opening.
Yeah, that's actually probably a good thing for finzent, as his infantry is a little bit better at dealing reverse hatches.
No, of course it'd be very good. Well, especially short range PPSHs. I mean, that's not going to be pretty. Air stats trooping are going to get wrecked.
Oh, the PTRSs in the middle are just sniping the transports. Prestor John has not noticed yet, and fortunately, he only loses one truck and the assets or jump out.
He loses one for now, but he still has to be really concerned about the fact that we have Kazakh PPSHs moving on up as well. To the north, the Soviets are getting forced back at least a little bit. We do have these rather deadly Otomachiki, of course, but with that, wow, yeah, everyone's pretty much dead, although we did lose a P2.
Yeah, it's all those Jaeger pioneers, man. They've just been in complete devastated all Soviet infantry, and the T-34 killed the T-34, but the T-34 was getting a little bit too close to those Germans, so he's going to back off, even though they don't technically have any AT.
Exactly, and that's the point that I was going to make, is that they shouldn't be too concerned about that, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, down to the south, the AirStats MGs and, this T-34 sticking getting rounds out, put down range on it from the 45 mil. Not for nothing, it doesn't look fantastic for Prestor John early on, but that's going to be the case, like kind of what we expected.
The balanced income, you're just not going to have that early game advantage. And I'm guessing he's taking a more light infantry opener in A phase, stats and some Jaeger pioneers. Once we hit B phase, probably going to start seeing those cavalry troops, and of course the Hungarian cavalry troops.
Yes, indeed. Now, things have certainly bogged down in terms of infantry fight in the center part of the map. But up north, it looks like finzent is not to be outdone by this wave of, you know, fascism. Bringing in a couple more Kazakh squads in the Superi. But he's going to have to deal with two more T-34s. Where's that tiger? There he is, okay.
There he is. He's just been king of the hill at the moment.
Yeah, for the moment, yeah. Transmission destroyed, that could be kind of a problem when you need to go someplace. But I guess I'm a little concerned about that heat ammo. Yes, it's only 90 penetration, but weirder things have happened.
It's true. It's true. It's a possibility that Tiger does get close. I think there's a possibility even 90mm penetrating 125 due to how SC2's penetration system works. It's probably very low, but things happen, man.
Yes, they do. Now, meanwhile, the Russians are across the 50-yard line in the south. They've already taken, of course, the factories or barracks, whatever you want to call them, over just to the north of that. The Germans are a little bit on their heels here. We have a couple more air/troop squads coming in. But, yeah, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, I think the southern side is definitely Vincent's best idea to try and get an early game advantage. Just once you capture it, pretty easy to hold, pretty good territory of 9th Cavalry, as you can run around all the forests and whatnot with the infantry and Shermans and small anti-tank guns. So this is definitely his best bet. It's still only a trove. The flags are flipping back and forth, so just as long as Prestor keeps it, just as long as Prestor John doesn't lose by like a +2 advantage, he should be fine.
Here's a question. Did they buff the number of satchel charges on Superiors?
Yeah, I think most satchel charge squads now have 3 charges instead of 2. Same with like Pioneers and whatnot.
I was going to say, I saw a reloading and I was like, there's still 2 on him. Something is very wrong here. I thought for a second I didn't see the Tiger on that center hill, and I thought, oh my god, is he dead? No, he's not dead.
No.
Merely sleeping.
It's probably a good idea backing him off the hill for now.
Agreed.
Just don't want to keep it exposed. Because you never know, there could be a dangerous AT gun nearby. Of course, with our God view, we know there isn't. But you definitely want to keep that Tiger alive, as that's like a single card Tiger in A phase with the leader.
Oh my gosh, T-34s to the north, the German ones, the captured Boyd's stuff, just swept in on the flanks and just destroyed this counterpunch from the Soviets.
Yeah, that's a good play, a very good play. Yeah, Sherman and T-34 now backing out.
And rightfully so, I'd argue. But they have to be careful because there still is an M42, what, about 500 meters southeast of them, so that can be turned around in, a little bit quicker than we might like to see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Prestor just both sides I see really bringing out lots of armor. We've got Hetches, Luke's prototypes, and from Vincent we're seeing Emchers, T-34s, even some Valentine Mark 9s, which are gonna get to the front line in probably 20 minutes from now.
Just in time to watch the end of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
But as this, Hetzer, of course, is going to cause some issues for the infantry, but that's not his job. He needs to be getting a little bit more, hull down to pick on that armor.
Yeah. Yeah, Southern Post is going pretty well for Vincent. At the same time, Prestor John is doing a decent job at keeping them back. It's just really going to come down whether Vincent can kill that Hetcher on the hill, because that is in a fantastic spot overlooking the road.
Definitely would be the case. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have a whole lot of infantry killing power.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, that's why we get bringing in Reiter Jägers and Jäger Pioneers, and now air/troop as well. So, I don't know, about a company's worth of infantry being brought on in.
Mm-hmm. Those Reiter Jägers are definitely going to be able to pack much more punch compared to the regular Joes.
The regular Hans, please.
Regular Hans.
But, if you want to be healthy, wash your Hans before every meal. In any case, let's see. The Tiger is redeploying to the north. I like that very much. Oh, wait, no.
Yeah, it's up north.
That's not the Tiger with the... It should have a radio.
Yeah, that's the same Tiger.
Okay.
No, it's definitely a good call, because if or when Prestor John manages to clear that northern forest, you stick the Tiger in the air, boom, long-range advantage.
Well, Tiger's a natural habitat. It's a natural habitat for the Tiger to forest.
Exactly.
It's perfect. It's a great idea. Meanwhile, down to the south, though, there's got to be some crazy thing going on here, because Germans, yes, they got a number of their infantry squads in, but it looks like this Emcha and this Kazakh squad has caused a number of issues, killing at least 2 trucks of very, very valuable and expensive infantry.
Yeah, Sermon's just in a perfect spot to give fire support capabilities. Just that hidden Hetcher, because the Sherman cannot reliably kill that Hetcher, I'd say. And I think, yeah, he's going to run into the Hetcher trap.
Site damaged. Maybe tracks broken, but he can still kill him, though.
And you see the P2 trying to get the flank in now.
There we go. Well, the P2 at the same time, I feel like the P2, these guys, unfortunately, just never seem to get the amount of play that they deserve.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what, I totally get why. Just it's always just such a shame. But in any case, we are going to see just another wave of T-34s being brought on in. The Valentines are still hobbling their way to the front. And more T-34s to the north. So this is interesting that even knowing that there's Boita T-34s in there, the Russians are not giving up just yet.
Yeah, just barely holding the edge of that northern forest. Doesn't really have any ATR, it seems, to deal with his T-34s in terms of, like, infantry AT. So he's just going to throw in a platoon of tanks and hopefully work for him, which is a bit risky.
Yeah, but that is kind of how it's done by many different cultures, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, though, what does Prestor John do? He's been a little bit rocked on his heels. He's down about, 20% of his total tickets. How does he turn this around?
Time's on his side. He's actually done phenomenal in A phase, even though he is, losing in terms of points. Once he gets into B and C, you start to win the attrition warfare compared to 9th Cav. So it's really going to come down to if finzent can deal the knockout blow in these next 10 minutes or so as we start into B phase.
Awful lot to ask, I feel like.
Oh, a lot of air power being brought out. Jeez, that is a lot of air power. Messerschmitt and another Messerschmitt, but with a big gun.
So in the words of Daffy Duck, would you say it's a whole mess of Messerschmitts?
Yeah. Going after one T-34, doesn't get the kill, but a bunch of criticals. And I think we're going to start seeing our first Osnas presence on the field now, which is perfect for that northern flank, as you can just juke those tanks easy peasy.
That is true. We still have to be a little bit concerned. And one kill already on the pitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with no anti-air presence, this Messerschmitt can easily just fly around. And finzent opted to buy a lag-free, so he still has a good while before any anti-air is brought out.
Yep, he certainly is lagging behind the times.
Mm-hmm. Oh god, yeah, he's just flying all the way down south now with these T-34s. This is perfect air power for Prestor John. It's going in bunts together.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was perfect. Absolutely perfect, yeah. And he's still got ammunition. This Messerschmitt is still ready to mess about. And now he's gonna fly up north. He's a man of the map, Khan.
He is. You know what though? I think he's already he's got 2 kills already.
Yep. 14
rounds of AP.
Yep.
He's got this.
Yep.
He's firing from the rear already. Engine damage. That's 1. Is he gonna be a ground ace? That's 2.
He doesn't. He's gonna try to go for the 3rd one. He's pretty much already paid himself off by now. And just in a single run, that is perfect. I love seeing air power being used, or being able to stay on the map for a long period of time. As usually it just gets shut down by anti-air very quickly.
True. Very
but
true.
That was a real deadly blow.
Yes, indeed. Now, one thing I would like to see a little bit more of is these Messerschmitts. He's got to know there's infantry coming in here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's an absolute ridiculous amount of it. And 3 MCHAs. So I would like to see a much more aggressive stance from those ground, from those fighter planes, more or less. But hey, can't hate too much about that.
Yeah. Yeah, Prestor is still tro, so it's going pretty good for John, and he's doing another strafing run up north, going for the T-34. Gets the kill, that's 5 bloody... He's a ground ace now.
Are there any more easy kills he might be able to do? Maybe a couple of the Valentines inside that town?
Yeah, we've got a lag-free coming in.
And the lag-free is like, okay, we're going to rock the infantry, and then we're going to be mad at that bomber.
It's probably would be a better idea for finzent to maybe invest in anti-air instead of buying airplanes, because he's just going to lose that lag. Just like that, and it barely did any damage, really.
True. And actually, P2 is finally getting himself some kills as well, shrekking some of the infantry as it comes in. But Germans have to kind of get back in this. The Husaruks are coming down to the south. The Jagdpanzer, of course, is still hanging out and just kind of chilling. And what's coming to the center? Another Tiger and 2 more Husaruks. So,
yeah. Yeah, this is when Finzent really needs to make his, make the push. He's got a bunch of Kazaki SVTs down south, which are actually a pretty good matchup against Husaruks due to phenomenal semi-automatic rifle spam. But Vincent really needs to get like another 2 to 3 flags under his control so he can get that +2 advantage, as he can't really sustain himself on his +1.
Well, not comfortably anyway. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Checking in that town in the center part of the map. German machine guns and this P2. P2's gonna get knocked out, I'm pretty sure, real quick. It's up. It's dead. Well, there was a P2 that was holding down the southern side of that town.
No, Valentine's is slowly crawling in. This is a perfect spot for Valentine's. Just due to how close range it is, you don't really have to move him that far to get him into the fight.
Certainly true, but still not something I'd really relish for my own troops.
Yeah, it must have sucked being like a Soviet tanker. It's like, hey, we trained you and whatnot. Here's this really slow British tank. It's got like a cool, and it's also really cramped. It's not like, it's just like, like a T-34 is also not exactly fun to be inside of in terms of economics.
We know you really actually do care about the motherland, but we don't really care about you. So, yeah.
Yeah, have fun of these very slow British tanks. But hey, I got a fast-firing gun.
What's that?
You got a fast-firing gun?
Oh, the Valentine? Yeah, the Valentine. The Valentine, yes.
Yeah. These aren't like the Valentines with 2-pounders. That would have been a real... Oh crap, they did actually do that. Little recon tanks.
Yeah, but there was like 40 of them converted. Other than that, just no one ever used them. It was a... It was an experience, let's put it that way. Like I said, second Tigers to the north. We have a third Tiger... Actually, excuse me, second Tiger to the center, third Tiger to the north. So we get the Tigers moving in. I don't know, it's going to be an uphill battle, so to speak, both literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
But, could have potential.
Yeah, it was Tigers in like that middle area. I could actually have a pretty hard time against Valentines, as Valentines can pretty easily kill a Tiger at close range just due to its rapid rate of fire on that 6-pounder. So, yeah, it's looking actually pretty good for Vincent down south, as he's actually making quite a bit of progress. For a little bit, but yeah,
really?
He the amateur man to flank around and do some stuff, but yeah, there's this platoon of Husaruks, and they're not here to mess about, Khan.
No, they are not. They are quite able to just kind of crush a lot of the materials coming towards them. And it seems Vincent knows that, which is why he's bringing, oh great, more Kazakh infantry. He's going to start running out real soon, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, the Kazakh SVTs for B-phase, you've got like 24 of them, which is nice. But yeah, you don't have that much great availability for 9th Cav. I think for your Husaruks, like, you cannot just really beat them in a straight-out fight with infantry. You really need to even your odds with indirect fire, preferably.
410 is back.
Oh,
One of the ME-109s does go down, courtesy of a Zis gun. 2 Zis guns.
Oh, those are the Trin 25mm trucks.
Oof.
And, yeah, they do not... They do not mess about. It's pretty much like an old-school ZSU truck.
Yeah, all I can liken them to is, actually, I'm not going to bother trying to make some modern comparison, because I just would not do them justice.
Yeah, I know what you mean, the Trin 23mm that the Russians use. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Actually, I've never played Red Dragon, but that's the only game I continue to reference, I guess. Now, down south, looks like we're probably going to see at least a 1 flag flip here. Maybe not 2, but at least 1. Ooh, and look, this Hetzer's going to have this super close Sherman.
Yeah.
And that Sherman does not live on Wallaby Way. He does not live in Sydney. He is going to be living at the Pearly Gates in a second, when the Hetzer decides to actually shoot at him and not the guy who's way down the other side of the road.
Yeah, it's like, the Sherman's bailed out. I think it's this AI auto-targeting is leaving that at the bottom of the list. And now it's at the top.
Well, the other hets are shot it. In the meantime, things are starting to look up for Prestor John, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, his southern post is done phenomenal for him. If he can just get another flag and even out the flags, like scoring. But finzent managed to grab another one, it seems. I don't know where. Oh, it's down south. He
yes, it is.
Capture that barracks area.
Hetzer got killed by that heat round.
Oh.
But outside of that, yep, we still have more Kazakh troops coming and being poured on in. Not going to be enough, though. We actually have about 2 companies worth of German infantry being deployed, one to the center, one to the south. And I think that's going to stabilize the lines, even prepare for a push to back the center side, and 1311, excuse me.
Yeah. Right, yeah, I think finzent really needs some artillery down south. He's bringing in a lot of Shermans, which also helps out, but he's just throwing the Kazakhs against the Husaruks is not going to work. He's holding pretty well in the middle. As you see, his Tigers are trying to, shoot stuff across the hill, or on the hill.
Yes, and
AT to really deal with him.
Well, bit by bit, the SVTs with their PTRSs are not going to be enough, but the Zooks definitely will be.
Mm-hmm.
Also, worth noting that up in the north, the Germans can hold the entire thing for sure. It's not even like, we sort of hold it. They hold the entire forest quite handedly.
And finzent's completely fine with that, as he's just set up a giant defensive net around the forest of AT guns and AA guns that also act as AT guns.
By the way, we're going to see planes going after those Tigers, I imagine. Yep, here we go.
They get a kill?
Nah.
No.
It's going to take more than that to stop them.
Yeah.
He says loyally, even though they're going to get destroyed. And wow, the other the ME-109 didn't even get a chance to get over the front lines.
Jeez, yeah. I mean, like 425mm shooting at you is definitely not, I'd consider a good day flying.
Oh, they said a good date, and I was like, dude, what kind of romance do you have? But good to know. Good to know we didn't quite hear each other perfectly there. In the meantime, a couple Stugs being brought on in to kind of go and clean up this little, let's say, bulge, and the Soviets will not be happy to see those guys, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now we're starting to see later, further into a later game, there's just more quote-unquote heavy armor on the field. And
well, the
also,
Valentine... Sorry, go for it.
No, and also just some, proper artillery from Prestor, 120mm.
Ooh, where?
Down south. Which would be a great counter against 9th.
Yes.
Because this whole southern side is just collapsing for finzent.
Yeah, that's going to fall apart pretty damn quick, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Also, I thought this is kind of interesting. Finzent brought up a ZIS to put fire on one of the Tigers to bring in another Valentine to flank it. Now, unfortunately, he mistimed it by about 30 seconds. But I kind of understand what he was trying to do. I don't like it. I think it could have better use for anti-air, but it was interesting.
Yeah, definitely. It was cool. But that's kind of what you have to do for Ninth. You have to get those flanking shots, because you do not have good direct damage anti-tank.
Well, first rounds are up, and they're going to barrage this VP where there's nobody there anymore, so that's good to know. That is some wide-ass spread.
Mortars, man.
The scary thing is, I wonder if the 120 mils can take out a Sherman.
Probably. I'd say so if they get, direct hits. It's probably unlikely due to, poor accuracy, but it's definitely possible.
Track's broken, one of the Tigers. The other ZIS is now dead, I think, as well. So, some curious...
Yeah, you don't even want to lose that.
No. I mean, if you consider how destructive the German air power has been, why would you even remotely want to sacrifice that?
Mm-hmm. And those sisters have been fantastic at dealing with that German air power. I mean, those Messerschmitts have just been hitting the ground.
It is worth noting, one of the Tigers did go down.
Yep, and the second one goes down to air fire, so 2 dead tigers, ha ha ha.
And day late and a dollar short, we have 4 of those quad flak Vietings coming on in. Sorry, 2 of the quad mounts. I think you know what I'm trying to say there.
Yeah.
Still scary. We still have another tiger to the north, and with this thick band of trees on the north side of this town, this hill rather, he really could slide into the south and put a lot of, let's say, flanking fire on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like things are starting to just collapse in general for Finzent. He's just, it's a classic C phase 9th Cap problem where you just start running out of stuff because most of your cards are A and B phase cards.
And it does not help when your infantry is getting barraged almost constantly.
Mm-hmm.
It gets to the point that even the Ersatz Truppen might be able to force a morale hit here. But I do like the MTROs being thrown back to the south. I think even if your line is sagging, you have to use the MTROs somewhere, and you get enough of them that really is kind of worth it.
Yeah, southern side is definitely the best spot for them, just due to they can really take advantage of their stabilizers going around corners.
It's kind of funny that we don't really have that same go-to anymore, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you notice it less in SD2, just due to the fact it's not hedgerow hell.
True.
When SD44, like, all tank fights pretty much revolved around going around a corner and getting first shot.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna watch a Husarok softball one of these T-34 Razvedkas, or not.
Come on, get up here, bud.
Oh my gosh, they are doing the Mission Impossible run.
T-34's getting closer to him. He's just asking...
Grenade! Oof, that was beautiful. I don't know, man. There needs to be like a anti-tank Olympics or something.
and here we see Michael Sharrett with the Panzerfaust shot, and he makes the 300.
The Panzerfaust 500.
Now we go over to our reporter Sean, who's doing a bazooka triathlete. Bazooka triathlon. I can't say it.
That's okay, though. I kind of would have thought, isn't the triathlon almost like the national sport of Canada?
I have no idea.
I mean, outside of hockey. Outside of hockey. At one point, I remember hearing a stand-up comedian referring to the biathlon, not triathlon, as Norwegian drive-by. And I imagine in the context, really, of the SD games, it's really actually the Finnish drive-by. And God help me, I can't help but hope that at some point we'll see something like that get put into the game.
Same.
I want my Winter War, man.
God damn it. Same here.
By the way, 3 more mortars being brought onto the center, it looks like. So we're getting artillery park after artillery park, and that will be the death knell for the 9th. Because you know exactly where all of this fire is going. And it's
into Russians, I guess.
Well, as I say, I'll give you a hint. If you put a, vision thing right in the middle of the town, you can see that there's a spread of only about 250 meters in any direction.
Oh, yeah. It's a perfect spot.
Also, worth noting, there's a Retiega behind enemy lines who's got 18 K98 bullets, and that's literally it.
Holy crap, he's been doing like some backdoor partisan work, which is a bit ironic.
He's worried, so am I.
Yeah. But yeah, he's gonna pretty much die by the time he runs out of ammunition, so...
Looks like Corporal Lapham didn't get to him in time.
Nope.
A little bit of a Saving Private Ryan reference there. Not sure if that landed or not, but these mortars certainly will. Damn! Ryan, we've been doing this an awful long time, man. We can start getting on each other's wavelengths. It's kind of great when we get to finish each other's...
sentences.
I was going to say sandwiches, damn.
I could do it for sandwich. Could make me run out of redundancy.
Honestly, man, I had some Greek today. I ate the Greek at like 11:30 this morning. I am still stuffed. Greek food is so good. Oh my gosh.
It's really good.
Another lag coming on in. Not sure what he's going to make the target run on. He looked like he was maybe considering the Stugs. And now it's the Germans' turn to say, this is what anti-air looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's panicked, but he's going back alive.
Yeah. Yeah, but even though Vincent's on the back foot, he has still managed to hold on to his ground. If this was, you know, SD44, and this was like a limited 40-minute match, I would say he'd have a chance. But because this is SD2 and the time limits don't exist, Prestor John pretty much has all the time in the world to make his back. Even though actually Vincent got another bloody flag. I don't know where he's pulling these flags out of.
It's a southern one. It's basically a tiny little factory because it's just the battery Führer. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, SD2, where the points are made up and the ground doesn't matter. Yeah. 120s are starting to loft shots on that front row of Soviets, and oh my gosh, it's got to be awful to be them right now.
Yeah, I would not want to be pretty much anywhere near that zip code.
But I can't help but feel like if at this point, I'd shift the anti-air platform up just a little bit just to continue putting fire on them. They don't want to move. Keep them pinned down. And where's the next? Yeah, next barrage. Okay, next barrages are still going after it. And the Hetzer's going to go and looks like take out another Sherman?
Probably.
Turret stuck, tracks broken. Yeah, you gotta think about it, like, that guy has broken an arm, he's broken his neck, and his feet are gone.
Mm-hmm. Pretty gruesome image.
It is. It is. It's kind of, it's one of those things, I don't know when I started thinking about it, but like when I started getting all the crazy crits, I think in SD2, my mind started kind of putting in that kind of almost horrible
oh yeah, jeez, like
anthropomorphism.
Yeah.
Crew knocked out is like a coma. Maybe they come out, maybe they don't, I don't know. But moving away from the dark things, because that's probably going to make this an NSFW thing. Oh my god, 3 more mortars.
No, it is NSFW. So much artillery just pounding the Russian side, but that's what you gotta do. It's what you gotta do.
Right, maybe we could put this video on Pornhub.
I was thinking more X videos. Or maybe like
there you go.
Stuff.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm sure I mentioned this to you. I remember this at one point, but during the 2016 World Cup, the Brazilian team got thrashed so bad. Or was it? Oh man.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I love it when the internet has a sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
It is 12-12 though, and we have to be cautious here because wait a second, who's the Russian? Oh my gosh, there's this big group. We have this Russian wave going, the red wave, the Crimson Tide, if you will. And unfortunately for them, these aren't air trooping, these are Husarovs, which means that you're not going to break them.
Yeah.
And there we go, anti-air platform is getting on the field. There we go, he just shredded one of the infantry. And the M-truck gets blown to shreds by that guy. Oh my god, that's what you're supposed to use that for.
Yeah. Dude, I've had instances playing a 1v1s where I accidentally run into a quad 20 mil with a light tank, and I just lose the light tank instantly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's those things are terrifying.
You know, it's been a while since we had a Code 2 reference, but the flak pens of the Ostwind and oh my gosh, not the Bobofagan, but those things were so good. Like honestly, I wouldn't build heavy tanks. I would just build Ostwinds.
I remember those Ostwind days.
And a different wind is blowing here, and wow, the 3rd Artillery Park is going to start pounding the northern side of that town. Just walking barrages up that street is going to be awful. And the 9th Cav is not going to survive this one.
No, I'm thinking at this point Finzent is mostly out of infantry. I mean, he's getting some Kazaki down south, but as we see up north and in the middle, there's barely any foot sloggers left.
Well, and the Germans, on the other hand, the Germans and the Hungarians, rather, not slowing down at all. And actually, part of me feels that if the 9th Cav, even only having a little bit, if they had taken a platoon of tanks, a little bit of artillery, they could have pushed that northern force, at least kept Prestor John honest, and had to force some more infantry going up to the north. Because we have talked about how difficult it is to take towns.
It really can be a pain in the ass.
Also, 2 Iron Cross mortars. The 120 miles, that's terrifying already.
I mean, it's got leaders nearby.
I know, but still.
No, it has a leader and the commander, I try, so... That's like, I'd see a really. You don't see people do that too often anymore, keeping like leaders in the command structure with the artillery, but bumping up like his mortars a 2-star makes a huge difference.
Strangely,
Absolute.
sorry, please.
No, just a huge difference in like fire rates and stuff.
I was just thinking about the kind of stuff you're saying that people don't really worry about leadership or command chains rather. One person I have noticed that does do that consistently is Prestor John.
Yeah, he's been doing it pretty well this match. I mean, yeah, down south just looking, he's got like a pretty decent command chain.
Oh
Also,
no.
same thing with Finzent. He has his commander kind of in the middle, but there's nothing really left to command yet.
One thing I'm finding rather interesting is that a lot of people who still use the command structure, which for the record, I feel is a really awesome add to the game, tend to be much more aggressive with them. Like, I understand that a leader leads from the front and all that, but I would not want to do that.
I think it's just... It is very ballsy because it's not a unit that you want to lose, and we have seen in replays people losing their commanders by keeping them too close to the front line. But I think especially in 1v1s where you have... It's kind of harder to do map coverage with your commanders. You should usually take less leaders because you want more frontline units. You kind of have them very close up just to keep that chain going with your frontline guys and compared to your rear echelon artillery. And Finzen taps out, and that's a good game.
Honestly, I think that's completely and totally a worthwhile tap out. As you can see, the KD is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, I want to see, was that more towards the end? Yeah, it's everything Russian died at the end.
Well, Zisguns on this, the quad, dual 20 mils you were talking about, one guy, 3 ground kills. 3 air kills, rather.
Oh, yeah?
But from the losses side, yeah, one Jaeger Pioneer takes out 7 squads, a Tiger takes out 5, I mean, is the Yagd... Oh my god!
God! Hetcher's got a Hetch, man.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, the 410 had 5 kills. Another Hetcher had 3 kills. I mean, who's the rock over here? Pataki. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then
Bears.
another Husaruks, and then another Husaruks. Guys, Husaruks are the best infantry and second best infantry behind Sturmsuchens.
I know. Who's a rock in this particular replay?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Honestly, 9th Kavalrie is a very hard division to play. It's not a very good division, unfortunately, due to the fact your infantry isn't really that great. You don't... I mean, you got, like, specialist CQC guys and the SVT spam squads are cool, but Strokey DP are just so much better, and Strafniki, and those are, like, common options with a bunch of Russian infantry. As well as I keep mentioning, 9th Kavalrie has terrible anti-tank options.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
And Lord, I wish I wasn't the case, because the 9th was a breakout division, no pun intended, when this game first dropped.
Yeah, it's kind of lost a little bit of its charm since then. Especially due to like Sapori PPSH nerf, which is a good thing, honestly. But yeah, it's a shame because it's a fun division. As it is. So, you know, you got Shermans, you got these cool Cossack troops with funny hats, you got Yosnases, which are, you know, bazooka guys, but none of that stuff really works well, unfortunately, compared to just, like, having big, beefy infantry squads.
The one thing that I've always kind of griped about, we talked about this from SD and going into SD2, is that so many of the divisions, if you don't play them in a particular fashion, they are made to be one thing. And the 9th Cav, to a certain extent, is made to be more dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And going up against another one that has more dynamism with Harteneck, Harteneck is still one of the best divisions on either side of my mind in the game.
It really is a fantastic division in general.
But before we wax too much more rhapsodically about this, as always, guys, if you have any thoughts, you have a replay you want us to check out, hit us up either on Discord, here on YouTube. I think Ryan takes smoke signals as long as the prevailing wind blows north. And but yes, as always, we appreciate you guys coming through with this. Ryan, any final thoughts?
Do you think MC Prestor John is like actually an MC who does like, you know, disc jockeying?
Hey, dude, I think he busts a move every now and again when he does a replay with us.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or he's Ethiopian. Either way, I'll continue to watch him all the time. But folks, until next time, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.